was a California August in '82 when my mother gave birth to the Spam Tech crew. 13 years later had me looking at Linux. Programming made me stronger like Papa the Spinach. Now, people know that a DG carry weapons, but if that weapon is a nest, you step in. We finish Contra with only one life. Finish Metal Gear 2 using only a knife. Right, people might think that we're frontin', then they see all the noobs online that I'm putting. My rhymes flow just like my code, even though my source is owned by SCO. What about my Indian? I keep it low. See me on Gunbound, call me pro. I'm a certified legend, but I'm still your bro. This is a PSA, boy, the more you know. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I said my heart's wide open, goatsy, and my windows min like Hochi. I'm just another nerd, but I rap about it. Shit talk on the net, then I laugh about it. I've been caught slipping like the Star Wars kid when I'm on eBay sniping a bid. Catch me on a webcam like Numa Numa. See me at the club and I'm rocking Puma. Another net legend if you see me yodel. Spit a little something that's anecdotal. Tell me about the time the E-Bombs world stole your chop like I stole your girl. Catch me on Gen May, not something awful. Low tax would ban me, raffle. I'm a certified legend, but I'm still your bro. This is a PSA, boy, the more you know. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spams. Yeah. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spams. Yeah.
What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD, flying solo as always because, you know, we had to clean house. But here I am. It is Saturday. It is time for Gabbing with Geeks. Tonight we got a lot to talk about. A lot. Yuji Naka. We got an update on the goings on with him. You know, the former Sonic man himself. It's a little insider trading, a little insider trading going on, and he got a sentence. And then, of course, we're going to talk about Redfall and the devs hoping, praying that the game got canceled. What kind of weird stuff is going on here? Then, of course, God of War art director joining Netflix for a, quote, AAA project. Why some people are losing their mind over this and why you probably shouldn't. Because, again, this is Netflix we're talking about. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 screwing over fans on the Switch. Aspyr dropping the ball big time and then trying to sweep it under the rug. And, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about AI art because the new Duke Nukem promo had a little AI art in it and people were losing their minds, really upset. We're going to go over some weekly polls and any other silliness we get up to, including, but not limited to, ongoing coverage of the Video Games Live concert. That's right. Video Games Live is going on right now. Tommy Uyamiko was wrong. Saggy Melons is not going to too many games. She's going to Video Games Live. She's being joined by several members of the Shill Squad. That's right, we got Saggy Melons, Atari Creep, DJC, Mike Mullis, and Bacon Ice Cream Productions, all heading to Video Games Live, all heading to be with their buddy Tommy. Ooh, it is going to be quite the fiasco. So right now we'll check in with our roving reporter, our person on the street. Let's see what's going on with VGL at the moment. Saggy's Tommy's friend again? Yeah, they're friends again. Friends. I don't think they're friends, and I'll explain why. But here is Saggy claiming, sold out. Sold out despite it looks like it's a little thin up top here. A little thin. Little thin over here. See, we got more people here, but less heads. Now, I'm gonna cast doubt on the veracity of the report that it is sold out at VGL. There we go. We're obviously going to get more insight as to what's going on at VGL. Now, Saggy says Tommy's her friend. Tommy's a friend. It's her friend Tommy. I try not to be too harsh on Miss Melons. You know, she's hard-headed. But she says she's Tommy's buddy. It's Tommy's buddy. Despite the fact that she bought tickets, Bacon Ice Cream, they all bought tickets to this show, right? We're buddies with Tommy. Can't even comp us tickets. Can't comp us tickets. And can't comp us backstage passes either. Man. Could you imagine having to pay for the privilege to see your friend and then the privilege to go backstage to see your friend? That's kind of ridiculous. Saggy says she got all kind of pictures with Tommy on her Snap. She doesn't want to put them on Twitter. She doesn't want us to use them for a video, she said. That's what she claims. I don't use Snapchat. I'm not one of the kids. You know, I'm an adult. I don't use that weird shit. So I can't verify whether or not this is true. But it'll be interesting. I'm sure Mike Mullis, he's going to put his pictures with Tommy up. We're going to get all the nice Tommy Tellerico info. Finbar says I get hard for Saggy. Oof. VGL out Drew Taylor Swift. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. More people than a Tony live stream. It's true. It's true. And those people paid to be there, right? So, man, Tommy's beating me. Tommy's beating me. She fucking paid to see. As far as I know, she bought the tickets. They all bought the tickets. That's where they were going this weekend. That was the big secret that they didn't want to say. That was the big secret that they didn't want to tell anybody. They were going to VGL. Sad. Love you, Tommy. Paid for the tickets to support her brother. Yeah. Maybe Tommy will take some of that VGL money and offer refunds for those people wanting the Amico. Did they get Harry's Pizza? No, but Saggy got drunk with DJC last night, did a live stream. Then she privated it because she said she wasn't sure what happened. She got a little drunk. She don't remember it all. Pretty awkward. Myself, though, before we get into it, right? We're like 9 minutes in already. Jesus. But I've been having a stellar fucking week. Right? It's fantastic. Wednesday, we had the brand new Amico home show. Oh, man. First off, let me start over because you probably noticed I've been yawning a lot. Ever since I stopped drinking Monsters, I've been yawning so fucking much. There's no caffeine in my body, no sugar. It's making me yawn quite a bit. Hopefully this stops in like another week or so, and my body just gets used to not having it. But as I was saying, Wednesday we had the brand new Amico home show. It was really good. The reception was really good. I liked it. I had a lot of fun. We're going to do it again next week. Hopefully Hammock Man will be there with us again. We're no longer going to pretend. The kid gloves are off. There's no longer pretending. The fake positivity. No longer. It's not about fun. Right? DJC and them came back, so it's time to do what we do and rip into these guys the way they deserve to be ripped into for promoting a fucking scam. And like I said, I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Then, of course, Thursday, we did the big anime show. Had a lot of fun with that. It's almost like on Wednesday, a weight was lifted off of me. It felt like a brand new Tony, a brand new day had ascended upon us. I'm thinking clearly now. I had an epiphany about life. I had an epiphany about YouTube. I'm thinking clearly. I know what needs to be done. I know how to do it. So I'm not worried anymore, right? I was worried before. I had some doubts, some worries, and they all just went away. So nice. It's so nice to be able to come out here and just let it go, right? Just talk, do my thing. I don't have to worry about all the negativity, all the drama. It's fantastic. We don't stuff money in our shoes after the show to cross the border, though. Yeah, it's true. That's true. So there's gonna be a lot of big things happening here at the Geek Getaway. As you can see, we got new art. If you didn't peep it, if you came in a little late, let me show you the brand new Geek Getaway logo. Look at that. Brand new art designed by Sidekick Max himself. Wasn't it because Intellivision Entertainment pulled our funding? That's what I thought it was. No. They didn't pull our funding. We refused. We turned it down. They tried to give us more money, and I said no. We were only contracted until DJC came back, and at that point we did not renew. So don't worry, Philip. I cleared it up. Designed by Max GPT. That's what I'm saying. Sidekick Max, he designed that. He drew it. I have the sketches, so there's no doubt that this is real. He didn't use any AI program. Sidekick Max is an artist. He does art, and that's what we got. It only cost me, an exorbitant amount of money. Sidekick Max hit me up today. He's like, "Hey, can I get some money to go downtown?" And I'm like, "What? You want money from me? Go get a job. You're a fucking adult now." All these guys lost money on pre-orders, then paid for ticks. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Exactly. It's very sad, very sad. If I was going down to VGL, I'd be going down there to go get my money, to go get some questions answered. Yeah, that's what happened. We told them to go fuck themselves. Yeah, exactly. AI for life. Well, speaking of AI, we got a story about AI, so let's just dive right into it. Thank you, Tommy, for giving me that great segue. This is from PC Gamer. Publisher apologizes after fans spot signs of AI generation in contract artist's Duke Nukem promo illustration. The lead image for a new bundle of Duke Nukem games coming to the Evercade handheld looks immediately fishy. Now, this didn't look fishy to me, right? This is the art. It looks fine to me. It looks like Duke Nukem, He's shooting some guns. He's standing over what appears to be some sort of dead body. It looks very Duke Nukem-ish. I would never have questioned this. I never would have made a big deal. If someone said, "Hey, AI did this," I'd be like, "Yeah, okay. It's great." The artist was able to use AI to help him create some art. I don't see a problem with that. I don't see a problem. 56K warning says, pro tip to AI art, just trace it over. Yeah. Just says earlier this week, Blaze Entertainment announced a new Duke Nukem collection for its Evercade retro handheld, which will include remasters of the first two Duke Nukem games, back when he was still a blocky side-scrolling man. With all due respect to the Duke, it wasn't really a big deal as game announcements go, but it became one when people figured out, in very short order, that Blaze had used AI-generated art and promotional images for the bundle. At first blush, the images look innocuous enough. It's Duke Nukem standing on some big dead thing, guns in hand, blasting away at stuff off screen. But as Kotaku pointed out, there are several red flags. I think some of it is overstated. The legs look fine to me. It's a pretty typical superhero style pose. But the guns, the literal guns, not Duke's biceps, are noticeably out of perspective. And there's no doubt that the trigger finger on his right hand ain't right. I mean, it looks like a finger coming through. It doesn't look like a finger going around. It does look weird. But that's up close, right? If you get up close on it, it looks weird. But I think, again, right here, you don't really notice. Just any doubt about whether the image was AI generated seemed to be put to rest when Blaze took the image down and issued an official apology. Why? Why would Blaze issue an official apology? So here's the statement from Blaze, written by Andrew Biet. Over the last 24 hours, we have been humbled by the support and excitement over our newest cartridge announcements in partnership with Gearbox to bring the Duke Nukem franchise to Evercade. As part of this, an artist was commissioned to produce a lead image for the new Duke Nukem 1 and 2 remastered game developed by Blaze Entertainment. It is abundantly clear from the response on social media that the work on this commission has fallen below expectations and standards demanded by our fans due to the artist's use of AI in the process. We are immediately removing the art where possible to do so and will be announcing a replacement commission in due course that better meets the high standard expected. We would like to apologize to you, all the fans, who have felt passionately about this enough, and please be assured are working to remedy this. We also would like to thank everyone who's worked on the project to date for their input. So that's what Blaze had to say. Honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, except from my understanding, AI art is not copyrighted, trademarked, right? You can't claim ownership over AI generated art. I think that would be the bigger issue. I think the bigger issue for them would be I could then take that image and use it, even though they're putting it on their handheld promo material, right? It would be like, well, too bad, because that's AI art, and AI art can't be owned by anybody, from my understanding. Show them a Rob Liefeld and Art and Kotaku will say it's AI. Yeah, oh my God. His bodies are so out of whack. Cool pick, but better if it had a naked woman. It's just placeholder graphics. Yeah. These, quote, fans, according to media, are probably just disgruntled artists. That's true. A lot of artists are very upset about AI replacing them. A lot of writers are upset about ChatGPT replacing them. There's better boomer shooters out. Duke Nukem can kick rocks. Well, this isn't even the 3D Duke Nukems, right? These are the 2D Duke Nukems. So, that's a gray legal area. If a human touched up the picture, then it can have a copyright. Yeah, I think if a human does something to it, you're right. But I was just saying if it was just generated. They're just saying it's low quality. Yeah, but I think the reality is Blaze doesn't care. Right? Blaze thought it was high enough quality to use it. I think Blaze really was like, wait a minute, can we own this image? You know, we paid you for an image that you don't even own, right? So, you know, you got to remove the corporate speak from the reality, right? Sometimes corporations say one thing when the truth is something else that they just don't want to admit to. An artist was commissioned to produce the lead image for the new Duke Nukem 1 and 2 remastered game developed by Blaze Entertainment. Blaze CEO Andrew Biat said. It is abundantly clear from the response in social media that the work on the commission has fallen below expectations and standards demanded by fans due to the artist's use of AI in the process. I read that they just rewrote the statement. Blaze had initially defended the piece, and artist Oscar Manuel, who describes himself as a, quote, professional hybrid concept artist, but changed direction when followers on Twitter pointed out other examples of Manuel's work that were also clearly AI generated. Someone pointed out, the majority of your artist's portfolio is made from generative algorithms. Look how they can't draw the same Stormtrooper design twice. The goggles, knee pads, etc. Everything is always subtly off and inconsistent. This is, quote, AI art, just like the cover that they made for you. I think these images are actually pretty badass. AI art or not. Someone else replied, man, I did a first game art around 2004. No sketch ever looks like this. That's them putting a lot of punctuation. The very thing about the sketch, it shows you how things work. What exactly is the parts? Not a random strokes. Not just a composition. It should show you how exactly everything works. From his art station, you see this. But real artists would do a huge thinking about every single detail. AI will just do a mindless kibosh without understanding the world, story, characters, culture, anything. Man. The reaction to Blaze's turnaround is widely positive, although a few replied tweets questioned the uproar and need for a new image, saying AI is simply another tool for artists to take advantage of. One user, Retro Work, tweeted that complaining about the use of AI in art is like expecting the artist to paint on canvas instead of using Photoshop. It's a fair point on a complex topic, but nuance is difficult to achieve in the heated, abbreviated forum of social media. And as we saw in the ugly reaction to the AI Envision showdown in May, there's little patience for use in any capacity. Manuel hasn't commented publicly on the controversy. I've reached out for more information and will update if I receive a reply. I agree that a lot of the uproar over AI art is that artists are pissed off that they're going to be replaced. They are replaceable, right? Art was one of those areas, right, where people always thought, well, computers can't replace us. Computers don't have souls. They can't draw. They can't make a beautiful picture the way an artist can. Joke's on them, because computers can make beautiful works of art, and they're only getting better each and every day. All the little errors that we see with AI art, the horrible hands and feet, the inconsistent little details, those are all going to go away eventually, right? Another 3, 4, 5 years, you're no longer going to have those errors. In 5 years, AI art is going to allow anything you can think of to be created. And artists are going to be out of a job. What's up, Evie? It's been a while. AI art are great rough drafts. They are right now. It sounds like the artist gave them a Latino discount. Ooh. Let's see, what else we got going on? 56K warning says, AI art taking pencilers' jobs, making inkers the primary artist now. Oof. Remember when Google Maps was ass? That was just 9 years ago. Yeah, exactly. Everything's going to get so much better. And then ChatGPT, you're gonna have stories with art 100% never actually written by humans, right? It's just gonna be like, hey, write me a story about an evil witch in a village set in like 16th century Romania, and they're just gonna fucking spit it out with art to go along with it. It's gonna be insane. We're gonna live in an insane world. We're gonna have literally on-demand stories and art, right? You're gonna be able to order art and fucking music and stories just the way you order food, right? You're gonna just go into the fucking local, be like, let me get a number 3 story with a 2 art. You know what? Supersize that. I feel like reading a little bit extra today. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be an insane world we live in. When do we get AI generated Amico parody songs? We already do. Tommy's not real. Tommy's a computer. The biggest proponent of AI art are Tommy Miko and Sweet and Tender Hooligan. They have all these grotesque mutant images of Tommy Tellerico. I've seen some of them. They are very, very weird. That last update from Phil Adam was made by ChatGPT. I think it was. For school, it's going to be AI write me an introduction to an essay. And it's going to be write me an essay. So like, I need an essay on colonial America and the struggles that the early Americans had. AI just going to fucking spit it out. Yeah, it's going to look like shit, just like real fast food. Nah, the shit already looks good. Fast food is made by people. That's why it looks like shit, right? If fast food was made by computers, it'd probably look a lot better, right? AI art's going to dominate the landscape. People need to get used to it. People need to adapt. Brave new world. I hope, for me personally, I hope AI art gets really good. You'll be able to make your own video games. You'll be like, hey, AI, generate me a bunch of sprites for a brand new 2D Sonic game done in the Nintendo 64 style. Boom. The drums I use are AI. Yeah. See? All right. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know in the comments. Do you think AI art should be outlawed? Do you think AI art should just be put a stop to? ChatGPT is out of control. We need to put a stop to it. Let me know. All right. What else we got going on here? Let's talk about Redfall. This comes from Video Game Chronicle. Redfall devs reportedly hoped it would be canceled or rebooted by Microsoft. The Bethesda project is said to have suffered from unclear direction and staffing issues. Could you imagine? You bought Redfall, this brand new, quote-unquote, AAA game. Not only was it ass, not only was the game ass, but then you come to find out that the developers knew it was ass and were hoping and praying that the game had got canceled. The stuff Amico makes should be outlawed. It should. All right, let's see. A new report claims to shed light on the circumstances that resulted in Redfall's disappointing release last month. Following several delays, the first major Xbox exclusive from Bethesda released with a number of technical issues and generally reviewed poorly, garnering aggregate scores of 56 on the Xbox and 54 on PC, according to via Metacritic. Redfall is a multiplayer looter shooter, a genre that's new to creator Arcane Studios, which is best known for its critically acclaimed single-player immersive sims like Dishonored and Prey. According to a new Bloomberg report, the game's development was hampered by a lack of clear direction, a high turnover of staff, and insignificant resources for what was billed as a AAA game. The report, which is based on an account of over a dozen anonymous sources who worked on the title, said the project started development in 2018 after being pitched to staff as a, quote, multiplayer Arcane game. Some members reportedly found the pitch confusing and felt unsure that the sort of gameplay Arcane was known for would translate well to a co-op setting. The game reportedly suffered because its development team was continually understaffed, with Arcane's Austin office employing fewer than 100 people and insufficient outsourcing support offered by Bethesda. People complaining. It's not enough of us to do the job. Many experienced developers who weren't interested in making a multiplayer game reportedly left the studio, with almost 3/4 of the Austin staff who had worked on 2017's Prey said to have departed Arcane by the time Redfall was finished. Could you imagine that? You work at a studio, they're like, here's our job, here's our new job, a multiplayer game, and you're like, I don't like this, I'm leaving. I don't want to work at this. Only developers could have such a weird sense of entitlement. They don't want to do the job. Right? Fuck it. I just leave. Arcane is said to have experienced difficulties filling vacancies with lower than average salaries, its Texas location, and the desire of prospective employees to work on single-player immersive sims viewed as a contributing factor. No one wants to work on multiplayer games. When development of the game started, Bethesda then parent company ZeniMax was reportedly pushing its studio to develop live service titles, and according to Bloomberg, Redfall had a significant microtransaction plan in place for 3 years before it was scrapped in 2021. That same year, Microsoft acquired ZeniMax in a $7.5 billion deal, and some Arcane staff reportedly hoped that Xbox maker might cancel Redfall or reboot it as a single-player game. So for 2 years, these guys were like, oh man. However, Microsoft took something of a hands-off approach to Bethesda's game development studios, as Xbox boss Phil Spencer acknowledged in a recent Kinda Funny Games interview. We didn't do a good job early on in engaging Arcane Austin to really help them understand what it meant to be part of Xbox and part of First Party, and use some of our internal resources to help them move along that journey even faster. We left them to work on the game. They're a very talented team. I love that team, and I still do, and I will totally bet on them to do another great game. I won't. I wouldn't bet on them. Phil Spencer, you're kind of an idiot. Tommy says, who wants to work on one game for like 8 years? If they're paying me, man, I'll work on that shit. Maybe pay them more? You know, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Microsoft can't make games, only buys them. Ring truer than ever now. Yeah. JM says, why only AI of Tommy? None of Phil, Adam, Nick Richards, John, Alvarado, DJ, C, Geeks with Cash, or Rap. Come on, no, let's not. We're not. No. We don't need AI of all these weirdos. Come on, JM. But when Xbox Game Studio head Matt Booty, that's a name right there. I want to be named Matt Booty. I want to be Matt Booty from the Long Island Booties. And ZeniMax president Jamie Lear sat down. I think we can engage earlier with our different studio. And I do think there's differences when we came in, when the creative is already set on a game. And that's not washing our hands. Every game we ship from our team is an Xbox game, so we take full responsibility for it. Spencer said he believed the platform holder did a better job with Bethesda's other 2023 release, the upcoming sci-fi RPG Starfield, in terms of assisting development because the game was earlier in production when Xbox acquired it. We should have been there for Redfall, co-creative director Harvey Smith and the team earlier. I think that's on us, he continued. And then through the process, it's an Unreal Engine game. We have a bunch of studios that have done some really great work on Unreal over the years, and I think we were too late to help in that when they had certain issues. Phil Spencer sounds like he's kind of passing the buck. He's like, hey, we basically we thought they were able to handle it. We thought these guys were competent. Turns out they weren't. Poor Xbox getting their subpar games. It's a shame. It's a shame. J.M. De Los Santos says, CM Punk is back. That's right. If you remember, they said that they had not announced, they had not announced the location of the first collision. And I said, the location, when it's announced, will be a huge indicator whether or not CM Punk is coming back. Go back, watch the wrestling episode that we did. I 100% said that when it's announced where it's located, you'll know 100% whether or not CM Punk's coming back. And it's in Chicago, right? It's in Chicago. So, first collision in Chicago, CM Punk coming back. I don't know if I'm with Finbar here, giving AEW another shot. I don't know about that. I don't know. All right. Speaking of fans getting screwed, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 restored content DLC canceled on Switch. Aspyr has announced that it's canceling plans for the release of restored content DLC in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 on Switch. The DLC would have featured new content, including a mission with droid companion HK-47, a revamped ending, new dialogue and interactions among your crew, and new quest and combat missions scattered throughout the world. This would have been restored from what was cut when the game originally came out in 2004. Plans were also in place to make it entirely free. Last we heard, the DLC was planned for Q3 of 2022. That window came and went without any news. Aspyr finally provided an update today, revealing that it will not be moving forward for release. Could you imagine buying Knights of the Old Republic 2, thinking that you were going to get all this brand new content, all these new goodies? We'd like to thank the KOTOR community for their immense passion and support for the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic series. That passion allowed us to bring this timeless series to Nintendo Switch, and we are forever grateful. Sadly, today we are announcing that the restored content DLC for the Nintendo Switch version of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords, will not be moving forward for release. We'd like to thank everyone for their continued support by providing a complimentary video game key to players that purchased Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords on Nintendo Switch before this announcement. Fans can essentially claim any Aspyr Star Wars Switch release as the code if they purchase Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 on Switch. They can also opt to claim a Steam code for that title instead. To do so, head over here and submit a request with proof of purchase attached. They're kind of making it right, but if you already were a huge fan and you had bought all those games already, that sucks. They were going to give it free, so I don't understand what people might expect, right? They probably should have known. Wasn't going to happen. They should have been weary. No studio gives stuff away for free. So, if you own a Switch and you had KOTOR 2, out of luck. Tommy says KOTOR 2 was kind of shit anyways. Jade Empire was better. I always wanted to try Jade Empire. They should bring that back. Remake it. Pretty sure all this has existed as a PC mod for a very long time. As I remember, it shipped with the disc but wasn't implemented. Yeah, that's why they were going to bring it back to the console version. HK-47 was the, quote, meatbags guy. No, he wasn't. He stole that from me. Star Wars stole the meatbags thing from me. Don't sweat it, Tony. I'll do it. You concentrate on WWE. I will, because WWE has been pretty awesome as of late. I'm very excited. All right, moving right along to more important stories. This had gotten not a friend of the channel, but someone in the community had gotten really excited for this. It was, really giddy. He said, God of War art director joining Netflix for the AAA project. That put Netflix on the map. Netflix was now on the map. In case you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about. Smash JT, not my good buddy, your good buddy, Smash JT. He was making claims. Netflix just became a powerhouse in gaming due to this very thing. We're not going to watch Smash's video, but yeah. Smash thinks that because they have, this is a great team. Netflix is getting big developers, big names. If you don't know this guy's name, Raf, what the hell is it? Raf Grassetti, you'll know his name because he worked on God of War, and the fact that Netflix got him, that means big things. Except Smash JT was the same guy who was really excited about all the big names coming to the Amico. Remember when Amico had a bunch of big names, and that meant that the company was going to be awesome because big names. Big names are what's important, right? Yeah. A Netflix show that's going to be canceled after season 1. No, he's going to be working on a game for Netflix. A game that's probably going to be canceled. So, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. All right, let's read the article. Raf Grassetti, the former art director at God of War team Santa Monica Studio, has today announced he's joining Netflix to help create, quote, a new original IP AAA game. Working with the likes of Joseph Staten, Halo, Jerry Edsel, Shadowrun, Gears 5, and Chaco Sonny, former executive producer of Overwatch, the developer will bring a new world to life. On Twitter, Grassetti writes, I'm happy to announce that I've joined Netflix to develop a new original IP AAA game. I'm really excited to build a team and work with the amazing Joseph Staten, Jerry Edsel, Chaco Sonny to bring a new world to life. He continued, making games is what I love to do, and I'm not going away anytime soon. Aw, man. Throughout his career, Grassetti worked on Mass Effect 3 as a character artist before joining Sony for Guerrilla Games' PS4 launch title Killzone Shadowfall. He's also credited on Counter-Spy and The Order 1886. Upon leaving the firm, he said, quote, Sony has been my second home, and I am immensely grateful to be involved so deeply with God of War. The skills I've learned and the deep connections I've formed with incredible people will stay with me forever. Are you excited for this, guys? Come on. This dude, he's gonna lead a team. The only reason I'm covering this is, again, like I said, Smash JT was like, oh my god, this is so important. And I'm like, dude, this is so stupid. People move from studios to studios all the time. This is not a big deal. This does not make Netflix a powerhouse of gaming. Yeah, Netflix has mobile games, Tommy. Do you think Smash will invest $10,000 in Netflix now? You should. LOL Smash outrage that limited run Three Stooges. Yeah, I saw that. That was so stupid. It's like a PlayStation game where you play it on Netflix. I think you play it on mobile. They might be working on a mobile or like an actual console release. Who knows? Who knows at this point? Which one of them work on the actual gameplay aspects of the game? Yeah, the gameplay and the story are probably art is good, right? We want good art, but I want a really great story and a really good gameplay loop. Let's worry about those. Those are the more important things, I think. Yeah, but if we went by everything Smash JT said, it would be crazy. According to Smash, and now I'm getting a little update. People are hitting me up on Twitter. Smash just released a video yesterday about KOTOR 2. He called it a scam alert. Scam alert, do not buy KOTOR 2 on Nintendo Switch. DLC removed. Devs caught lying. I don't know how the devs were caught lying when they literally said, hey, we're not doing it anymore. It's not lying. Not sure. I mean, game designer over art designer. You like Smash? He's not a good bloke. Finbar, you got bad Spidey sense on this one. Smash is a weasel. Smash is a rat. Don't like the Smash. Don't like the Smash. Not a fan of the Smash. Not a fan of the Smash. All right. Man, this is going to be a brisk. We're going to get this show done in under an hour. I'm going to wrap this bad boy up. All right. Update. This is from The Gamer. Sonic creator Yuji Naka gets over 2 years in prison. Yuji Naka could face 2 years and 6 months in prison over insider trading. No, we don't want. Update is on 2/6/2023. It should say 6/2. We don't go day, month, year. It's month, day, year. It's reported that Yuji Naka has not yet been officially sentenced to over 2 years in prison for insider trading, and a decision is expected to take place on July 7th next month. Naka's defense has requested a reduced fine and the sentence to be suspended. Oh, so thank you, The Gamer. Apparently, you published a fake article saying that he was sentenced, but now he's not sentenced. Now he's not. No. See, this is what happens when you don't read things ahead of time. We'll go through. We'll see what they had to say originally. Sonic the Hedgehog creator Yuji Naka was arrested in November of last year for insider trading, and after pleading guilty in March, has been sentenced to prison for 2.5 years. Well, we know that's not true. As reported by blah 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 gamer.jp, Naka was also fined twice for 2.5 million yen and 170 million yen. However, his defense is seeking to lower these numbers. Insider trading is when a person illegally trades in stocks to their own advantage using confidential information. In Naka's case, it was believed that he purchased stock in 2 developers before plans about games in development were made public so that he could sell it at a later date when it would be worth more. For context, Naka joined Square Enix to develop his newly created platformer Balan Wonderworld, which was garbage, in 2018. Jump ahead 5 years to 2022, and it was discovered that he and Dragon Quest XI middleware manager Taisuke Sasaki had invested in @Teams Entertainment before plans to develop a mobile spin-off Final Fantasy VII First Soldier had been made public, hence the allegations of insider trading. He was arrested for a second time only a month later in December of last year after Japan's Special Investigation Department announced that he was the 3rd suspect in an insider trading case regarding Dragon Quest Tact. Again, Naka was alleged to have known about its existence prior to the title being announced, and as such had purchased 10,000 shares of developer Aiming stock, which was once again alongside Sasaki, but also former Dragon Quest X event manager Fumiyaki Suzuki. Should have been Tellerico? Should have been. One of us has to be the good cop, right? I guess. I thought I was the good cop. I mean, I'm the guy who says, hey, don't do illegal stuff. Best thing I can say about Smash is he has a very punchable face. Disavow. How about Retro Bro? Do you think he's a good guy, Finbar? Is he a good guy? You know I do. The prison sentence was made today in Naka's 3rd trial. It wasn't. Where he was accused of violating the Financial Instruments and Exchange Act for insider trading for both Aiming and @Team. When he chose to plead guilty in March, he reportedly said, "There is no doubt that I knew the facts about the game before it was made public and bought the stock." At the time of his arrest and indictment, Naka was no longer working at Square Enix. He chose to leave the studio after Balan Wonderworld underperformed both critically and commercially. However, Square Enix said that it would help authorities with the investigation when he was indicted in December. We deeply regret the great concern this has caused to all concerned. Square Enix said, "We have dealt with this incident strictly, including internal disciplinary action taken against the suspected employees." Naka was alleged to have purchased shares worth more than 100 million yen each, hence the lofty fine of 172 million, which is around $1.2 million, or just under 1 million pounds. But then, like I said, he updated it, and the man wasn't officially sentenced yet. So there's a chance that Yuji Naka gets a suspended sentence. Do you think he's going to get away with it? Do you think Yuji Naka gets away with this? They say, hey, to spare the country more embarrassment, to spare the video game industry more embarrassment, we're going to go ahead and suspend his sentence. Tony, you're far from a good cop? I'm not hooking anybody's genitals to a car battery. You're the cop that shines a light in people's eyes and shouts in their faces. Sign the goddamn confession. I am a good cop. I'm not the good cop. Is what I'm saying. I do the things that need to be done. I'm in there. I'm doing the investigations. So we'll see. All right. It looks like that's it. That's all we got. We don't got any other articles. We ain't got anything else to talk about. Somehow or another, we ran through this in less than an hour. Less than an hour. It's insane. I'm going to have to add a lot more ums, a lot more uhs to the way I speak. More personal anecdotes, I guess. It was kind of a slow week for gaming. kind of a slow week. If you haven't watched it already, we did a live stream of Dark Quest 3. That was like an hour long. It was insane. I got to the end of the game only to get screwed over as the last boss revived with 1 HP and then killed me. Is Brett Weiss a plagiarist? When can we get your findings? Still working on it. Still going through the finer details. Still combing through it. Talk about Saggy more? I don't think there's a lot left to talk about Saggy. The concert's still going on. She hasn't made any new tweets. Probably have to wait till tomorrow or Wednesday for more video games live shenanigans. I'm not going to go chasing down Mike Mullis's Twitter and Tari Creep's Twitter and all the other people. Maybe Wednesday we'll talk about it. I'm sure they'll be talking about it Wednesday. This Wednesday we're going to go over last week's Amico Forever. And then we'll try to go over this week's Amico Forever. We're starting early. We're starting at 7. So that way, hopefully, by the time we finish, we'll be able to cover a little bit of Amico Forever this week with Hammock Man before he has to go spend time with his wife. But we got the weekly polls. We can go over the polls. Let's see. All right. Or show that clip from Perfect Blue where you see the chicks push. Nah. Or talk about Saggy's boobs. Frog in the Max game stream is the new hotness. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. New breakout hit. But Psychic Max ain't home right now. Psychic Max is bumming around downtown with his friends. So, why didn't you feature the super chatter that got banned in Amico Forever? I was waiting for it. Because that guy was trolling. Was trolling a little. He had said a couple of other things that just weren't really kosher. Why is mint salad called autistic boobs? Because she has autism and she has boobs. And she thinks it's funny. All right, let's go over the weekly polls. We had a few polls. They were a little late because, again, wasn't paying attention. All right, do you think The Flash will make $1 billion at the box office? They're saying that this is the greatest superhero movie they've ever seen. Lots of people gushing over it. The reviews are saying it's so great. It's the greatest movie ever. So, 114 people voted. The choices were $2 billion, yes, or hell no. 20% think it's going to make over $1 billion. 5% are insane and think it's going to make over $2 billion. But the majority of people, 75%, seem to think that it's not going to make $1 billion at the box office. I think it's gonna flop pretty hard. That's what I think, personally. All right. This is the one regarding our our Tuesday show. Should we only cover one wrestling company on the channel? The choices were yes, WWE, yes, AEW, yes, Impact, or yes, NWA. 76 votes. Or no, cover as much as possible. 76 votes. Overwhelming majority said no. Don't just cover one company. Cover as much as possible. However, in the event that we only cover one, 18% said do WWE, 8% said AEW, and then NWA and Impact were both tied with 5%. So there are a few Impact fans and there are a few NWA fans out there. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be covering WWE. We'll try to get some AEW. And I'm actually thinking. There's something I've been, going over in my head. There's a lot of smaller companies out there, right? That no one really covers, right? No one really covers the indie scene as much, I think. So there's some ECWA content on YouTube that I think we can get away with actually watching the matches and covering without much problem. So I think we're going to cover some, some indie companies. There's a couple of indie companies that are on the internet, that are on the YouTube. Finbar says, I'll do AEW when I'm back. I'll try to stick to it as best I can. I'll hit up Aaron and ETEP for the background stuff. You're just saying that because you're a big fan of CM Punk. You're a CM Punk mark. Does The Flash have Ezra Miller? He's the star. He's the star in it. Yeah. The missing option is 0. Don't cover any because wrestling's for nerds, right? Wrestling's for nerds. I love wrestling. Yeah. Cover Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan, NWA, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, CMLL, AAA, GCW. Why don't you include All Japan, Shine, Shimmer, all the Joshi companies? I'm sure there's a couple other Mexican companies in there. I'm a CM Punk Mark II. You're a hater. I'm not a hater. I just think he's fallen off. He's not as great as he used to be. I asked you guys 2 days ago, do you think the Amico Home app will even launch? 108 votes. 23% said yes. Phil never lies. Phil never lies. And we're going to get an Amico Home app. 77% said laughing face. No. I don't think, I'm on the fence. I don't really think that the Amico Home is actually going to launch. Simply because we had the Amico Club app, and that thing was a tremendous failure. They could barely get it to work. They couldn't update it. They didn't know how to integrate the news feed. It's been languishing on the App Store. I have serious doubts that they even have a competent person who can develop a mobile app for them. So, personally, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, they couldn't launch a console with $17 million. $17 million in 5 years, and they couldn't launch a console. And you expect me to believe they're going to launch a mobile app? And it's more than an app, right? Because it's going to be like a mobile app storefront for all Intellivision Amico content shit. I don't think they're going to have it. I don't think. And if they do, it's going to be a fucking disaster. So, in my opinion, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. John Alvarado can make Amico Home on his own. You would think so, but they couldn't even make the Amico Club app work correctly. All right. Also, 2 days ago, I asked, and this is for the anime show, who is the most influential anime creator? Your choices were Katsuro Otomo, Akira Toriyama, or Osamu Tezuka. And 71% of you said Toriyama. 20% said Tezuka, and only 9% said Otomo. Oh man, this one hurts. Too many Dragon Ball Z fans, right? Too many Dragon Ball Z fans. In my opinion, Osamu Tezuka is by far and away the most influential. Without him, there would be no anime, right? Without him, there would be nothing. Nothing. So, there was a few people who suggested some other names. Right? But these were the big three, right? These are the big three. These are the ones that most people are familiar with. Obviously, Akira Toriyama is the Dragon Ball Z guy, Dr. Slump, all that stuff. The other two, Asumu Tezuka, he is like the godfather of manga, god of manga. Kimba the White Lion, Astro Boy, Princess Knight, Blackjack. The man was right there. He was the father of manga. So I mean, they call him the Walt Disney of Japan. Okay, and Walt Disney definitely influenced his style. And of course, the other gentleman on the poll, Katsuhiro Otomo, Akira, his big claim to fame. Why Tezuka influenced the early manga and anime world. Otomo obviously influenced the current style and stuff of anime a lot more. Akira is the main drive to current manga anime popularity, though. Being first ain't gonna cut it. Going back to wrestling, we should involve the channel members in a WWE pay-per-view predictions league running from Backlash to WrestleMania each year. Winner gets one of those awesome Frog Mercy shirts. Merch shirts, not merch. We could do something. Once we get into it, running from when is Backlash? Backlash is right after WrestleMania, right? We could do something. We'll talk about it. In the DMs, Finbar. Hero Journalism says, I'm all about Astro Boy. I have some of the old cartoons. Yeah, Astro Boy influenced Mega Man, right? Astro Boy is a huge influence on Mega Man. So, without Astro Boy, there'd be no Mega Man. Come on. Although Keshan also influenced Mega Man. So, it's like 50-50. I'd say it's like 50% Astro Boy because of the boy android aspect, and then 50% Keshan for all the other gadgets and the look. Astro Boy influenced Mega Man, and Mega Man influenced Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9 was more like a bootleg Mega Man. And tried to run before it even walked, before it even crawled. Well, we've gone through everything. We've gone through all the things for the week, all the gaming news that I could scrounge up, all the thanking Google daily that I've done. Got nothing. We've gone over the polls. And so I guess no one cared for Mega Man? What? I love Mega Man. It's one of my favorite franchises. Mega Man is the kind of game that I could play, or at least when I was younger, that I could just keep playing, even though I never was able to beat them as a kid. But I just love playing the Mega Man games. Obviously, I've been going through them. I've been ripping through games like a hot knife through warm butter. Speaking of games, maybe I'll give you guys a little update on where we're at with the 52 game challenge. So currently, I'm sitting at 29 games. 29 games beat. Because I did beat Dark Quest 3 today, right before I did the review. Ran through it, knocked that one out. So we're at 29. Of Of course, I did Mega Man 1, Mega Man 3, Mega Man 4, Pumpkin Jack, Maneater, Neptunia, Cross, Senran, Kagura, Ninja Wars, Mortal Kombat 11, Castlevania 3. Castlevania 3 again, beat without any help, without any cheats, no save states, no rewinds, no walkthroughs. Mega Man 5, Donuts and Justice, Bats, Bloodsucker, Anti-Terror Squad, Mega Man 6, Midnight Suns, Thunder Flash, Thunderpaw, Mega Man 7, Heavy Barrel, Ice Cream Surfer, 1980X, Hungry Shark World, 99 Vitas, Mother Russia Bleeds, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales 2, Dead Cells, Cyber Citizen Shockman, Fight and Rage, Slipstream, and then, like I said, Dark Quest 3 for 29 games this year. And I'll probably knock out at least one more this weekend. Why is Mega Man not relevant anymore? Why did Capcom stop making the games? They didn't stop making them. They made Mega Man 11 what? When did Mega Man 11 come out? Not too long ago, didn't it, right? A lot of people are getting away from the 2D side-scrolling games. 2018 was the last Mega Man game, right? So I guess, yeah, like 5 years ago. I think they've kind of run out of ideas. A lot of the Mega Man games just recycle the same basic weapons, right? The enemies. You got the one that spins around Mega Man. You know, the fire one, the ice one. It's real hard for them to have new stuff. Plus, they got all the different Mega Man franchises. You got Mega Man X, the Zero series, Battle Network, Star Force, ZX. I mean, there'll be a new Mega Man something soon. I'm sure. Mega Man X Dive came out in 2020, so there's that. The Zero ZX Legacy Collection came out last year, or 2020, rather. The Battle Network Collection came out this year. So they're still thinking of the stuff. It's just, Here's an update. Tony is in the lead. Everybody else has given up. One or two of us in quite explosive fashion, too. It's true. I'm going to do it. I'm going to beat 53. And my goal is to beat it before Christmas, right? Even though Christmas is not the end of the year, we still have a couple days. I'm going to do it before Christmas. Mega Man 10 was made in 2010. Mega Man 11 was made in 2018. Before, they used to make it yearly. Keiji Inafune, when he left, he was the Mega Man guy, right? Inafune is the Mega Man guy. That's why he left to make Mighty Number 9. So without him, there's really no driving force for Mega Man. And like I said, 2D side-scrollers are almost relegated to indie status now. It's like a lot of big studios are not making them. I mean, what has Capcom really come out with besides Street Fighter in the last few years? We got Street Fighter and Resident Evil, right? And other than that, what are they really? Monster Hunter World? That's it. They got three franchises that keep coming out. Let's see. What are they working on now? I wish there was a list of Capcom releases so we could see exactly when they were released. Yeah, they still got the 1942 series, Breath of Fire. They could do some stuff with Dark Stalkers. I'd love a new Dark Stalkers game. Work on that. Are they the guys who did the Dragon's Dogma? I think they are, right? Isn't that like in a new game or something? Some shit like that. Yeah, so they got Dragon's Dogma coming out. They don't really there's no 2D platformers or anything from Capcom. KG is the reason why Capcom went to shit. Reason why Capcom held a grudge about not producing Mega Man. KG left and Capcom started to be Capcom again. Yeah, well, didn't Capcom have an issue where they were trying to be more American? Like with all the new Bionic Commando was like more Americanized, and they felt that the series, the franchises they were working on were too Japanese, and they weren't going to sell as well. Beat Transformers for the Famicom. That game is so hard it never left Asia. I didn't know there was a Transformers for the Famicom. This is interesting. This is news to me. I always wondered why Transformers didn't have like an NES game. Transformers Mystery of Convoy. 1986 video game. This is interesting. I might have to look further into this, Jan De Los Santos. Yeah, but I always wondered, like, Transformers was always one of those that, like, why isn't there, like, a Nintendo Transformers game, right? But now I guess I know why. Now I know why. There's actually 2 Japanese exclusive Famicom games. We got the Transformers Mystery of Convoy and Transformers The Headmasters. And this is insane to think that Transformers didn't get a real, like, a US game until 2003. Could you imagine that? One of the biggest franchises out there. Now that's the one? Which is the one? There's 2 of them. The second one I said or the first one I said? The Mysteries of Convoy or the other one, Headmasters. Let me know. Let me know. I mean, it looks pretty good from what I'm seeing online. I think I could beat it. No problem. It'll be like 2 hours. 2 hours tops. The Convoy one. Convoy is Optimus. Yeah, I know. Convoy is Optimus. I think the game stars... let me see. What's his name? Ultra Magnus. The game stars Autobot protagonist Ultra Magnus. The titular mystery is the identity of Optimus Prime's, referred to as into the title as Convoy's killer, as the 1986 film did not see a Japanese release for another 4 years. Thus, Optimus Prime's death was not adequately explained to the Japanese audience. This game was intended to capitalize on that gap. Interesting. Gameplay. The player controls Ultra Magnus, who must shoot his way through 10 horizontally and vertically scrolling levels consisting of various Decepticon enemies with a boss fight at the end of each level. He can transform into a car carrier, which makes it easier for him to avoid enemy attacks, drive through narrow entrances, and shoot enemies that are flying above him. Along the way, he can also pick up various power-ups, which would give him wider ranging firepower or even the ability to fly. There are 2 warp zones, so there you go. Another playable character in the game is Rodimus Prime, who can be unlocked by collecting the letters that spell Rodimus. One is hidden sequentially in levels 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9. However, though his vehicle mode has its own graphics, his robot sprite is Ultra Magnus and Rodimus' palette. I mean, it sounds like an interesting thing. Ultra Magnus is what I call my wing. It's hell, a barrage of enemies, and you cannot see projectiles. Also, Max will be in college by the time your robot transforms. We'll see. I don't think there's a legal way for me to play it, so... Sucks. Alright, everybody. I'm not going to drag this on any longer than it has to be. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here for the hour and 14 minutes. Short show today. I mean, we've went from 8 and 10 hour shows to getting this thing streamlined down to an hour and 15. That's progress. That's progress, folks. I'm not going to waste your Saturday. Don't waste mine. As always, love, peace, booty grease. I'm out this bitch.